Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy T. Was blazing the sports. Yes, of course, guys. I am back at it like a crack at it, giving you boxing geek girls this work. Guys, I'm at my job, doing my doing my work, and I scheduled a break at 11:30, but I couldn't get out until now, man. I'm like, oh, smack! Look at the time. Let's get out. Let's get this work. We'll give you 15 minutes or less. Give you my very best and talk this sport of boxing. All right, guys. So the main topic of this video is Romero calling out Errol Spence Jr. Let me give you my thoughts on that. We're going to talk about that and more. But let's reflect back on Ryan Garcia beating, dominating Fortuna. A lot of things that I said that Ryan Garcia could do, he actually did. Really good speed, and he has a way of jumping in and closing distance so fast and landing those hooks. And that is not really an easy thing to do. A lot of people will shoot in real quick with a jab, maybe shoot in real quick with a cross, which are both really straight punches. But when you jump in with a hook, you are putting yourself in a definitely position to get yourself counterpunch. And guys, listen, he was able to do it, put that work in against Fortuna, even better than I thought he was going to do. Now, I did think Ryan Garcia was going to win, but I thought Fortuna could possibly give him a little bit of issues. I'm like, look, man, he ain't really been the same. Lost against Jojo Diaz, came out there, looked like he was going to stand his ground, try to put some work in, put some fear in, possibly back up Ryan Garcia. Then he got hurt. He got hurt bad, and he spit his mouthpiece out twice, right? Ryan Garcia put that work in, got that win, looked good doing it, right? I don't think many people doubt that Ryan Garcia can actually fight. Now, they doubt who they believe he can beat or not, but they don't doubt that if Ryan Garcia can fight or cannot fight, because the kid can fight. He has speed, combination, pretty good timing. I do believe he's going to have some issues, or he will have to show us a different side of him when he faces a fighter that he can't take their power or can't match their power. So far, Ryan Garcia has been pushing forward against a high majority of his opponents. He has not really shown great lateral movement to evade and get away from opponents. It appears he has been working more so on pushing forward, standing in front of his opponent, cutting the ring off, using his speed and using his power. It would be very interesting to see what he do when he fight a guy like Tate Davis. And Tate Davis hit him one of those shots that'll make him thinking, like, oh, I don't know if I want to stick around from this. I might have to fight on the back foot a little bit more than the front foot. So, like I said, man, really good fight from Ryan Garcia. He called out Tate Davis. Listen, I want to see it, but there was a catch, right? It wasn't just a normal call out, it was a catch. There was a shock for a lot of people that night is that Ryan Garcia, and that lets you know that T-Dub didn't even do his fact check. I figured the fight was at 135 pounds, but the fight was actually at 140, right? And not only was it at 140, and I can understand that, he's just now coming back, can't quite make the weight, whatever. He gets Fortuna to agree to fight him at 140, gets a comeback fight, beat Fortuna at 140 pounds. He says he's staying there. Now, this is what the old hamster wheel get to turning, the hamsters running laps in my head, because so many things by him saying, I'm staying at 140, I'm not going down to 135, I feel better here. That makes you start thinking about a lot of things, right? It makes you start thinking about, whoa, you missed a lot of opportunities and still opportunities at 135. Who could you potentially match up with and beat at 140? How would this affect you fighting Tate Davis? Do Ryan Garcia have that much power? Is he that much of the A side that he can tell Tate Davis, which I'm not saying Tate Davis will or will not take it at 140, because Tate has fought at 140 and went back down to 135. So he could potentially say, I don't care about the weight. But does he have that much A-side power to make Tate Davis say, okay, I'll take it at 140, right? So let's go back to the first part of it. Ryan Garcia He's not going down to 135. He's done with it. Right? He's done. And it's crazy if we have gotten to an era to where the belts mean absolutely nothing. Right? I mean, it's crazy. Now, I do not believe the belt should mean everything in the world, but I think it should be a balance between the belts have to have meaning and the fighters have to have meaning as well. It has to be a balance. If you get to where the belts don't mean anything, I don't think that's good. And I think the sanctioning bodies, if they're not realizing that, whoa, right, we trying to make money off these sanctioning fees, and here the fighters is saying that these belts don't mean nothing, right? And if they don't mean nothing, who gonna pay them sanctioning fees? Who gonna hold your belt? If the popular fighters don't want your belt, who's gonna hold the belt? And how much would their fights be worth? And how much sanctioning fees you gonna get from that? But that's a long story. Different rabbit hole will go down another time, another day, another way, right? So Ryan Garcia is not going 135. To me, that is saying that he is not worried about fighting Devin Haney. I don't think he's interested. I think out of everyone, and I don't even know why. Out of everyone, Haney is the one guy he doesn't want to fight. That's the one guy. And it is the one guy he probably has the most history with inside the ring. From what I heard is that they fought about 5 or 6 times in the amateurs. Something between those bouts make it so Ryan Garcia don't want to fight that man. And I heard he won. I didn't hear that Devin beat him 6 times, but for whatever happened doing those fights and whatever he's seen in the pros, Ryan Garcia don't want to fight Devin Haney. When you got to start making excuses, oh, he got to fight more people before he fight me. Oh, he got to build his resume, right? When a non-champion tell a champion that he has to build his resume before he fight the champion. But then nobody asked the question, okay, then what does Fortuna did for you to fight him? What did he do? What if everybody you fought outside of fighting Haney, what made them so deserving and not Haney, who was a champion at one time and now undisputed? But this guy has to do more. So the Lomachenko clash, that's gone. I don't think Lomachenko gonna move it to 140, so we're not going to see that. Which, you know what? I think that would have been an interesting contest. Ryan Garcia is tall, lanky, good speed. Lomachenko is actually shorter, but he has that way of angles and getting inside. I'd love to see that matchup. And see how it would have worked out. So we see the 135. We see the opportunity he's going to miss the 135. Now we look at 140, right? Ryan Garcia, there are some fights there, man. I don't know if he's going to take them. I don't know what's going to happen. If Tank Davis is not next, and you looking at people at 140 pounders, like, what is it, Ramirez, Regis Progress, Teofimo Lopez up there. That might be a fight because they similar, both was at 135 at one time. Teofimo Lopez is up there. Josh Taylor. How am I forgetting about Josh Taylor? Josh Taylor's up there. Jack Cutterall, who Josh Taylor just fought, he's up there. Pedraza. They got some competition at 140. I still think, that there's some big fights at 135 he can make, but there's some competition at 140. I don't know if he's going to fight Tank Davis now. I'm telling you right now, guys, it could possibly be where Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia is going to string the fans along, making they're going to fight this winner, and then something's not going to work out. And the thing that's probably not going to work out is when they start talking about the zone and the PBC, 2 different places. Tracy, what's up, man? What's up, Tracy Jackson? It would be wise for Adrien Broner to start fighting at 140, set up a fight with Ryan Garcia. His career would bounce back. Man, you know what? I don't know if Ryan would take that fight. But Hey, that's an interesting fight. I think Ryan, not Ryan, but um, Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner did not grow into a welterweight. He moved fast, right? I think he even skipped 140. He moved fast. He skipped 140, went to 147, beat Palomar, right? He didn't let his body naturally grow, and he did not modify his style to deal with those more either punch resistant type of fighters at the heavier weight when he was able to get them fighters out of there, at lightweight. But Adrien Broner, listen, if I don't know what Adrien gonna do, man. He's coming back, and that's what I'm happy about. I'm happy he's coming back. But yeah, 140 might have to be his mark. He might want to stay away from 147. I'm not saying he can't win, but just to build his name up, and because 140 is starting to get some fighters down there with a little bit of name. Every division has fighters, but you do need somewhat of a name. Because Josh Taylor, I think he's talking about moving up to 147, either probably sooner than later. But hey, man, we'll see. Heck, we can even talk about, because this video is actually titled Romero calling out Errol Spence Jr. And I got to get to that because this is supposed to be my 15 minutes or less, give you my very best. And I've been talking about Ryan Garcia. So let me go ahead and wrap up Ryan so I can jump to the actual main topic of the video. All right, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, sharing this, carrying. I am back at it like a crank at it, giving you Boston Geekers every bit of this work. Let's work. So, Ryan Garcia at 140. There's a lot of fights. I'm telling you, man, we are going to see what Ryan is made of. Because if he doesn't fight Tate Davis, you gotta put him in there with a Regis Prograis, Ramirez. Put him in there with somebody like that. And if he beat one of them two, listen, man, I give Ryan credit when credit's due. If he go in there and he beat Regis Prograis or Ramirez, damn sure no. If he beat Josh Taylor, I got to get his man his props. But you know what? I'm not calling it a soft touch, but I'm saying an easier. Well, I guess a second big fight introduction to 140 would be Teofimo Lopez. I'm only saying that is because his last fight is at 135, right? He might be a big 135, but we don't know how he's going to perform at 140 pounds. So it'd be, unless I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but it'd be Lopez's first fight after losing all his belts at 135 and 140. And then Ryan just fought one time at 140. So that's actually a big fight for no titles. They'll make up something. Listen, guys. If Lopez fights Ryan Garcia, the WBC gonna come out with a WBC 140-pound blanket belt. That means if it ain't one of the major ones, it's going to cover something. It's going to be a blanket belt. It's going to be 12 rounds of boxing. But here, let me get to it. Guys, I wish there's an actual lunch break. I would keep cooking like the summer heat is doing. I would keep cooking all day. So let's get to it, man. Rolly Romero, this guy talks so much trash, man. He's calling out Errol Spence Jr. He don't want to fight. I guess Errol Spence Jr. fought Frank Martin, so maybe he trying to turn his sights on Errol Spence Jr. To me, I don't believe it. I don't believe it because one, Earl is not even in a position. My fault. He is so far past that position of fighting somebody like Rolly Romero. Now, Rolly might be saying, "Hey, Mikey Garcia was at 135, and he went up to welterweight and fought Errol Spence Jr. How come I can't jump to 135 and move up to welterweight and fight Errol Spence Jr.?" One, I think Errol Spence Jr. is definitely past that point in his career. Two, Rolly don't bring what Mikey Garcia brought to the table. Mikey Garcia at that time was an undefeated fighter. He had belt at 135 and 140. So even though they pushed it at being a 135er, fighting at 147 pounds, he actually had a belt at 140 as well. They just wanted the fight to look even bigger, or that much a big gap between the fighters by having two divisions apart. Broly is not a Mikey Garcia. Now, you know what? Well, you know what? I will say he could try to fight Mikey, but Mikey just retired, and that's probably good for him because Mikey not the same fighter that he was. I don't think he ever going to reach those heights because at one point Mike Garcia was ranked up, maybe in the top 4 at one point. I'm not 100% sure, going off the top of my dome. But Romero, man, so I watched a few videos. He called out Errol. He wants the big fish. Why should he fight somebody else? And then somebody asked him about Terrence Crawford. Man, this man started calling Terrence Crawford all kind of uglies. His state don't care about him. His state don't want him. What is Rolly Romero's beef? What is his smoke? What is his issue? And but you know what? For some reason, he likes Ryan Garcia. Maybe him and Ryan are really good friends because when I saw the interview, I don't know what to expect out of Rolly anymore. I have no idea if we're gonna start out calling somebody, oh, he's trash, he's an ass. Because Rolly is really taking the model. Well, not the model. He's taking a small piece from Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder said, speak it, believe it, receive it. So Rolly Romero is speaking like he's a top seller. He's acting like he's a top seller, right? He's believing that he's a star. And as long as he's speaking and act like he believe it, the people receive him as a top star. Because what other reason why he was in the ring with Tate Davis? Well, I know they were talking about, what was it, a WBA? We're trying to eliminate some belts, something like that. But there's no real other reason for Rolly to be in the ring with Gervonta. And I'm not saying that he could have worked his way up one day, but at the time they fought, there was no real reason. And now he feels like he's above all them people. He almost thinks he's above Terrence Crawford. based off, he thinks Terrence Crawford's ugly. Ugly now is a status that gets you in boxing. You know, he ugly. But I do remember one point, which is why he probably don't like Terrence Crawford, is Rolly Romero. There's a video where he was talking to Terrence Crawford, and then Crawford called Floyd Mayweather. I think Rolly wanted some work. And Terrence Crawford called Floyd like, man, you better get your boy. He wants this work, and I think the word is Floyd Mayweather shut that down from Rolly Romero sparring Terrence Crawford. Because I'm telling you right now, Terrence Crawford come off to me as a dude. He don't sugarcoat nothing. He don't hide nothing. Because even when he went into the gym and he sparred some guys, after he didn't even come there to spar. This wasn't that long ago either. He came in a regular clothes on. 2 guys wanted to spar him. So he do a video after sparring, and he's talking like most people would talk about somebody when they're not there. He's talking about beating them guys while they're right there. So if Terrence Crawford would have got his hands on Rolly Romero, as much as Rolly Romero talks smack, Terrence Crawford would explode. He would exploit that. He would have put that out there. He would have probably put video clips out there. That's why Floyd put an end to that quick. Tracy says Ryan would never fight Tate because Floyd will require Olympic-style drug testing. Ryan is clearly using PEDs. I don't know, man. Listen, I have no idea what Ryan is doing or not doing. I have no idea, man. I'm not going to make any speculations on it. I would like to see the fight. I like to see it. Listen, we know right now that if they're talking, because right now it already seemed like there's going to be some holdups. Oscar talking about he's going to offer Tank Davis 50-50 in the fight. We already know right now that Oscar is not the A side. He ain't going to be able to offer Tank Davis anything. Well, you know what? I'm wrong. He can offer Tank Davis 50-50, But we already know that if Tank gonna reply or Floyd gonna reply, like what you mean? We the A side. We offer you. And they most likely is probably going to start off by not even offering a percentage with Ryan. They probably most likely try to offer him a flat fee, and then Oscar would probably have to negotiate from a flat fee to an actual percentage. But listen, I don't even care what the percentage is. Both of these guys can make more money than me. It is what it is, you know. So I try to hit the lottery every every Wednesday and Saturday. I try to hit the lottery so I can just see what a little bit like to have that money on a normal basis. So, but listen, I want to see it, man. And if drug testing is the issue, then Floyd Mayweather and Tank Davis should put it out there. Like, listen, we agreed to the split. We agreed to the place. We even agreed to do it on dual broadcasting, 2 different networks, the Zone and PBC. But they won't agree to the limit style drug testing. Or they trying to get something a week out from the fight. We don't want to do that. Sound like you're hiding something. And we listen. I don't think Ryan's on anything. But if he is on anything, I'll probably put my money on it. Some of it probably has something to do with some clenbuterol. he gonna go home, eat one of them clenbuterol steaks. WBC says that a certain level is legal. You know, like, listen, man, I don't understand why other fighters is not doing it, because they already made a new rule since Canelo did it. That I don't know if it, you know what, is it for everybody or is it only for Mexican-based fighters that they can have a certain amount of clenbuterol in their system? I don't know. My boy America about to drop in the building. What it does? Smash the like button, yes sir. Man, there's only 15 minutes. I can get my butt back because I want my normal lunch break later if I can get it. They working your boy hard, man. They working me hard. Then I gotta get off to work. I get off work. Then I gotta go in work again, and I'm not gonna actually get home until about 7:45, 7:50. So, you know, it's just a long day. Getting up at 5:45, not getting home to about 7:45. Just a long day, man. Taking care of the kids, but you know, I want to talk this boxing video. It be on my mind, but just the time. But let's get it, man. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Please help the channel grow by just watching it, hitting the like, subscribing. It really means a lot. I appreciate it. I give it to you raw, man. This is raw, authentic. I don't know what I'm gonna say next until I say it, and I'm outside of these buildings. I'm the only black man outside of these buildings filled with about 600 people pacing. So just smash the like button on that. But they probably like, man, he's probably going crazy out there. What is he doing? He's talking to himself. Do everything but call the police. Do everything but call the police on me. But all right, guys, let me get my butt out of here. I appreciate it. Thank you.